Great. Well, thanks, Zaid, and good afternoon, everyone. It's very nice to be here at the Design Indaba. And I thought we would start off this presentation just with a shot from what's been happening outside the convention center in the Cape Town central city over the last couple of days. And that's this Spear Infecting the City program. And it really summarizes for me what we are trying to do. Bring life back into the city, in this case through animation in public squares, through really amazing performances. And that's certainly one of the reasons why I would say that Cape Town is a design city. That's what the lecture series is about. And I want to start off by just saying that about 3 years ago, we did a survey of creative industries in the Cape Town central city. And we found out that there were at least 600 to 700 creative industries that had naturally agglomerated together. And on the basis of that, we put together a program of support. It's called Creative Cape Town, through which we communicate, support, and facilitate the development of creative and knowledge economy in the central city. And obviously, we are looking to position not just the central city, but also Cape Town as a whole, the city region, as a creative capital. That's how we do it, to facilitate dynamic partnerships in line with the goals of the Central City Development Strategy, to turn the central city into a leading center for knowledge, innovation, creativity, and culture in Africa and the South. The point I want to make here is that our Creative Cape Town program is not separate from a whole lot of other things we are trying to do. It's not a standalone project. It's very much connected into the socio-economic goals of restructuring and rebuilding the city, dealing with issues of poverty, underdevelopment, homelessness, lack of public transport, and a range of the other things that our city has to deal with. It's not just design or creativity for the sake of it. There's a close connection, as it should be, with a whole range of other programs. So I just want to, in introducing Creative Cape Town to you, say that the goal of our Central City Development Strategy in the next 10 years, we want to grow and greatly enhance our reputation as a dynamic business and people center. So it's no longer just seeing it as a central business district to come and trade and exchange and make money. It's a place where people meet. It's a people center, looking at it from a mixed use point of view. And these are our 5 outcomes that we hope to achieve over the next 10 years by working together as partners from the private sector, community sector, and public sector. We want to be Cape Town's premier business location, recognized globally. Already we are 40% of business turnover in the Cape region. We want to promote a high-quality, sustainable urban environment, and there's certainly a lot of design issues coming up there. The design of public space, the design of good public transport, the design of sustainable buildings. I mean, these are all fundamental design issues. We want to be a popular destination for Cape Townians and visitors. We want to be a leading center for knowledge, innovation, and creativity. That's the Creative Cape Town side. And finally, last but not least, we want to be a place that embodies the heart and soul of Cape Town. Because ultimately, city building is about identity. Cities are about people. They're not about buildings. They're not just about bricks and mortar. They're about the people who live in them, work in them, trade in them, play in them, visit them. And ultimately, cities need to develop an identity. And obviously, we, as a city, we come from a very divided past. We're still quite fractured, racially, geographically, spatially. So part of this is to say, what role does the central city play in bringing people together to live, to work, to play, to visit, to attend events, and just to build a more common Cape Town identity, which to this day remains quite fractured. So our recent research survey that we're still busy analyzing shows us now that we have grown from 700 to over 1,000 creative industries in the last few years. So there's an ongoing concentration of creativity and innovation and firms and businesses and non-profits and community organizations involved with these sorts of things in the central city. It's reinforcing a very important trend here. This is a breakdown of the creative industries in central Cape Town. We're trying to analyze where our strengths and niche advantages are here. But what I do want to show you, we've done a preliminary list of all the design-related industries that already exist. And if you look here, 86 architectural firms, 81 communications and advertising companies, 95 fashion, 51 local crafts, 62 photography, etc., etc. Just on the basis of this evidence, I would argue that we are a design city, even though we perhaps don't always know it, but the evidence is there. And this is, remember, this is just from the Cape Town central city. If one did a citywide survey, I'm sure one would add a lot, although this happens to be the concentration. And that's why we've started focusing here. I'd say we are already a design city because of the content of our economy. But are we a design city a little bit more broadly? And I put this picture here is to show that property developers can also be innovators and designers, and not just buildings. And what Jody and Nick have done in terms of these Airstream caravans on top of the old Metropole Hotel, now renamed the Granddaddy, is a great piece of innovative property development, I think, in the center of town, which in turn has greatly enhanced our reputation amongst a whole range of media from the United States that tracks what happens to these old Airstreams, mainly in the home country there, and sort of immediately put us in touch with a very interesting rural market in northern Ohio and places like that. But isn't that that's what design is all about? The question we've got to ask ourselves, I mean, there's many design cities around the world. Some have been design capitals and design cities for many, many years, many decades. They are well known, the Milans and the Parises, the Londons and the New Yorks of the world. There's many up-and-coming cities that are trying to claim the new mantle of being design cities. The question we've got to ask ourselves, and I think the reason why we're having this lecture series is to try and give different views on this. What is Cape Town's edge? What is our local distinctiveness? What is the uniqueness of our offering here? It's no good trying to be the same. That's the sort of dumbing down, Disneyfication of global culture. That's the worst thing that could happen to us. So I think we've got to discover, and I'm not going to try and answer this, I'm posing the question, what is our edge? Although, having put this slide here, I do think it's music, but that's my own personal interpretation. I think that's our leading kind of faculty, but it's open for discussion there. Just a couple of other, I said that it's not just about design of products and the kind of craft that one sees around us at the Design Indaba. It's also about building cities. This is a shot from round the corner. This is Pier Place, and I bet you 99 out of 100 Cape Townians have never visited it. It's the most superbly redesigned public square done by the city of Cape Town with wonderful public art and sculpture. These are statues. These are not real people there. Beautifully lit up at night, really transforming a sort of barren wasteland outside behind the Cape Townian Hotel into a beautiful public space. And that, for me, that's good design.